This will be the last editing guide you'll ever need on YouTube, as this video is going to include how to set up your game and prepare it so you get the least amount of input delay possible, so you can edit the fastest. And then after that, I'll give you the best settings to edit faster than ever before. And then the last segment of the video will actually be tips on how you can edit faster and improve your editing speed overall. If you do play on console, make sure to subscribe for more tips like this, always on console, helping you players out. So make sure to subscribe with notifications on. Also, I'm super close to 100k, guys, so please help me out and subscribe with those notifications on. Also, guys, can we go ahead and shoot for 300 likes in the first 24 hours of this video being uploaded? I know we can do it. Everyone go drop a like. Also, if you guys want to stay up to date with me, then make sure to follow my Twitter. I'd appreciate that a lot. Also, if you use my code in the item shop, it will help you double your editing speed. Trust me, I don't know why, but it's scientifically proven. So use my creator code in the item shop, #ad. Nah, I'm only joking, guys, but let's get straight into how to prepare your game. Alright, so it all starts from when you load onto Fortnite. These options actually matter of which one you choose. If you choose Battle Royale, it'll prepare your game for Battle Royale. If you choose Save the World, it'll prepare your game to play Save the World. But if you choose Creative, it'll give you the lowest input delay and best ping to play on a creative server. Even if you're going to play in Battle Royale, always make sure to choose Creative. My next tip is actually a bit crazy, and you may not have heard this before, and I don't think I'm crazy. Actually believe me, because this is legit. Now, this is actually playing with no skins or a default skin, either one you want to call it. What this will actually do is not have to load in any new textures or any customized skins, which will actually give you the best FPS possible and lowest input delay as much as you can. Now, if you can improve it even more by playing on a default account that is brand new, trust me, for some reason this actually gives you lower input delay. Just trust me, make a new PSN, make a new Xbox, make a new Epic account, and if you play on a fresh new account, it always feels way smoother. Just trust me and give it a go. But don't think the tips are over, so don't leave the video yet. The next tip straight up is so easy, and if you have a support creator code, you can actually host your own custom matchmaking. Now, if you don't, then don't worry, but if you can, always make sure to actually use a custom matchmaking key when going in to play creative, as it actually puts you on a LAN server, which gives you the better ping as you're playing on your own internet connection, rather than connecting to any other servers, as you're actually hosting the game yourself. Okay, now this might sound like a common problem to a lot of you, is when you're editing, do you ever lag and sometimes it doesn't edit when you are? Well, actually, you can fix this by actually lowering your ping, and a simple way to lower your ping is absolutely for free, and all you have to do is, as you can see when you go into creative, you'll get all these featured islands. Now, what these featured islands are is fetching lots of data from other players that have created them, causing you to download other lag things, and it might just lag your game in general while playing creative. So the best thing to do is go over to every one of these featured islands and use this creative map code right here, which literally has nothing on the islands. Now, what this is going to do is make sure that when you're actually loading in all these other islands, this map literally has 0 megabit downloads, which actually means that you won't be downloading anything at all, which means that all the data and internet speed will be dedicated to your personal island that you'll be using down there. Or if you're using any custom maps up here, just make sure all of them are using this 0 ping code rather than the one you're actually about to load into. Once you've done all of that, make sure you head back into your actual shoreline island or whatever. Okay, don't worry, we're going to be getting into those settings ASAP Rocky, but quickly, I want to tell you guys something really important. And now this is basically when you play creative, make sure you play on your own island that has literally nothing on it. Other than maybe a couple trees on an island, that's all you really want, and you don't want to be playing on any of those fancy islands with neon lights and stuff like that, because all that's going to do for you Xbox and console players is just going to cause you unnecessary input delay and lag, and all you want to really be doing is just have a 1v1 startup, something like this, and that's honestly really all you need for a 1v1 map, other than guns, but that's honestly really all you need. And what this is going to do is give you way less stuff to actually load into your game, giving you less input delay, which will mean that you can actually edit faster, and that pretty much wraps it up for how to actually prepare a game. So let's move into some settings that can actually improve our speeds on editing. Alrighty, so some really basic settings we can actually change that will actually boost our FPS and give us less input delay. This actually works on console too, even though I'm using this on a PC. These settings still very much apply. So if you're on a PS4 Pro or any sort of Pro console, you want to make sure you turn off motion blur, because motion blur actually causes your game to actually have to render more frames, causing you to have a bit of input delay, which will actually make you slower at editing because you have more delay between your edits. Next, you want to go over to your game and make sure you turn off all these replay settings. These replays need to be turned off, because what this is doing is actually, it's a bit like recording your game while playing, and what this is going to be doing is taking up more space on your hard drive and SSD in your console and everything like this, and it's even a very good beneficial tip if you're on PC too. Okay, now let's talk settings. What are some God settings? Well, these aren't personally God settings, but what I do have to recommend for you is that you definitely play on linear settings if you are looking to actually edit way faster when it comes to like wall edits and stuff, because it's going to make sure that your actual edit comes through way smoother, and it's going to be making sure that you select it way smoother, and exponential can sometimes just be quite choppy, and it's not the best editing button, I can't lie. Okay guys, now this next tip is actually kind of breakthrough and has only recently been discovered by me, and I'm about to share it with you, so just hear me out for this one. So what you want to go to your settings, and the first step to doing this is a very small step before we get into the actual major step, but you need to make sure that you actually have confirm edit on release for this next tip to actually work. So make sure you turn on confirm edit on release. Okay, now that you've got that on, what this does is actually when you place a wall and actually select it, what it's going to do is as soon as you select it and let go, you don't have to confirm anything, it just select it, it confirms it, and everything is way faster, and trust me, this is going to work for this next tip. Okay, now this is the setting you've all been waiting for. So what you're going to do is go over to your combat controls, and these are the actual buttons that I use to edit at this sort of speed. So if I go ahead and place this pyramid like this, as you can see, this editing speed is absolutely ridiculous, and it's staying on 1 HP the build because I'm editing so fast. So to edit like this is the tip you've all been waiting for. You want to come over here to your combat controls, and now what you want to change is have circle on PS4 or Xbox. You want to have B as your edit or circle as edit. Then you want to come over to your editing, and you want to make sure that Y or triangle is your select button. And now of course we don't actually have to confirm it because we have the edit on release button. So now all we have to do is actually go ahead and edit and select. And now what you can actually do is by sliding your thumb from B to Y, and by sliding it across, it'll actually edit it. But you can actually hit the buttons at pretty much the same time, and it will literally edit so fast, guys. You need to try this. But you will not be as fast as me straight away if you do not learn the tips that are coming up. And one last thing before we get into those tips for you console players, I just want to give you some absolute massive tips to get less input delay and more FPS, is make sure you come over to your sound and come over to subtitles. This may not sound a lot, but trust me, for console this can actually be quite a lot sometimes. So just make sure you turn off your subtitles. Some people don't have that turned off, and I just want to make sure that everyone has that and knows about that. Okay, now let's go over some very simple tips, but can be so dramatic into improving your gameplay just like me, so you can edit just as fast with me, because those settings won't turn you into a beast, but these tips will. So the first thing when it comes to actually editing up a ramp, for example, let's say you're going in for a double edit and you want to make sure that you're editing as fast as possible, but some people, sometimes they actually do it too slow and they hit their head on the ramp before they can complete the edit. Well, a great way to actually counter this and make sure you have enough time is by, rather than walking straight up the ramp like so, it is the fastest way possible to run up the ramp. So delay yourself and give yourself a bit of time by running across diagonally, and now what this will do is give you a bit of that extra time just so that you can go ahead and time yourself and get sure that you actually land the edit, because sometimes when just going straight up it can be a little bit congested and sometimes you hit your head or something like that. Right, now this next thing is talking about a sweet spot. Now what is a sweet spot? Well, it's basically going not too fast, because if you go too fast on console or anything like that, you'll sometimes get this thing where you're editing so fast, the edits aren't going through. Now if that's happening to you, then all you have to do is find your sweet spot. So you want to start out by editing something pretty slow, and then get faster and get faster and get faster, until the stage where you've actually stopped editing anything, but you're spamming your buttons. So just go a little bit slower than what that is, and you should start to edit super fast. Now, when it comes to walls and things, a lot of people I see on console have a lot of input delay, and they overly flick like things like this, and they just like over flick, do some crazy movements, and they don't land the edit just like so. Well, to improve this and how you can land more edits and be way more consistent, as that is way more important, all you have to do is start to look at around the area here. So for example, you're going for a wooden wall, you need to remember that this is the sort of spot you need to be looking at, right where this stick is landing here, and then all you have to do when you land here is you've already at this corner, and all you have to do is go across a very slow. Now over here I know the edit is around here, so I'm going to look here, and all I got to do is barely move it across. Once again here I know it's there, so just move it across, and you guys get the idea. So basically it just comes down to learning where it looks like on the wall before you even edit. So just get the idea. So for example, edit the wall, get the idea, and then let go, and then figure out, is this exact brick I need to look at before I edit, and then of course I'm ready to edit the wall. Now this next tip comes in handy for actually resetting and editing very fast. Now what I want you guys to do is actually start to edit where you can't see the tiles. So you see these blue tiles, I want you to start to edit where you can't see them. For example, there, you can barely see the blue tiles. I reset, you can barely see the blue tiles. So I want you guys to actually practice this, where you get down the edit buttons and find that sweet spot of actually hitting all 3 of your buttons at the same time, or 2 of the buttons if you're using the other method, and you should not see a single blue tile when editing. Just make sure that you can edit as fast as that, and that will improve your speed. Now, I don't want to waste too much more of your time, so this is why it's going to be the last tip. I'm going to wrap it up all in this, and this is if you are ever practicing in creative, make sure you place down these speed pads and make one of them fast with infinite, and then make the other one normal and infinite, of course, just so you can reset yourself back afterwards. Now, what this is going to mean is you're going to be in 2 times speed, so that when you actually go ahead and do all your normal edits and stuff, you'll be editing in 2 times speed, so that when you come back to editing in a normal speed, everything's going to feel way smoother and slower, and it's going to basically have trained you in a 2 times speed, so that when you come back to that 1 time speed, you'll be absolutely chilling. And if you want to step it up, honestly, you can step it up to the very fast technique, but honestly, even myself can't even handle the fast, so do not worry too much if you can't handle fast, but if you can, make sure to practice on a faster speed, so that when it comes back to editing in a normal speed, you can be fine, and it'll feel way slower, and everything will connect way easier. But honestly, guys, I didn't want to make this video too long, and I hope it isn't that long, but if it is, and you are still watching, then make sure to drop a like and subscribe, as we are close to 100,000 subscribers, as I'd really appreciate if we can hit that. And also, make sure to go ahead and remember, we are going for 300 likes in 24 hours, but if we do not hit that, obviously, and we get more, then make sure to slap a like anyways. Also, make sure to use my creator code in the item shop. I'd appreciate that a lot, and make sure to follow my Twitter. Anyways, guys, that has been it from me, and I guess I will see you all in the next video. Peace.